1.
This video demonstrates how to add a printer to a Windows 10 computer within Ypsilanti Community Schools. I'm going to focus on the Canon printers that are installed in each of our buildings, but you can use a similar process when you're at home to install your home printer. You'll just need to use your home software, whatever software came with your hardware at home to do that. The first prerequisite, however, is that you need to make sure that your Active Directory user account has been elevated to be a local administrator on the computer that you're using. If this has not been done, then you'll need to complete that first. There's a link in the documentation to that process, but the best way to do that is to enter a Manage Engine ticket, and someone from technology will be able to help you. Next, there are links on the school website. If you go to the staff link, it's taking a moment to load, and then over on the left side, technology, then printers. The documentation for this file will be in adding a Canon printer right here, and I've already opened it, an older version of it. The spreadsheet that has the locations and the information for each of the Canon printers is located here, and there's a link in this document. And the link where you will download the driver is here, and there's also a link for that in the document, as well as a link to this video if you'd like to come back to it. The first thing I'm going to do is in the document, in the spreadsheet that shows where the Canons are, and this is also for 2018 now, we want to look down on the left side and find a printer that we want. I would like to add this one right here. This is in the Media Center at the high school, and it's an IR8585I, and its IP address is 10.13.112.8. If I visit the download page for the Canon drivers, the one I want to select is the most recent generic plus UFRII driver. Even if there's a newer UFRII driver, we want to select the generic plus because we have several different models of Canon printers deployed throughout the district. And this one is specific to each individual. This one will take care of all of them. So you click select and then download. This will put a self-extracting archive in your downloads folder. If I run that and extract to the folder where it asks for, just the default location is great. And then if I open the File Explorer, that's the folder icon down in the taskbar, and go to Downloads, it extracted this file into a folder with the same name. Double-click, and then double-click the Setup program. Actually, you might want to right-click and run as administrator. That way it'll install it for all users of this computer. If you're prompted with a dialog, hit Yes. Select Next, agree to the licensing agreement. And here we're going to put custom because we're going to add our own IP address. Hit Next. You do want to check the box for Canon Driver Information Assist Service. What this allows the computer to do is to look at the printer itself and say, hey, what hardware do you have installed? Do you have a stapler? Do you have a punch unit? That sort of thing will automatically be added if you check this box. You have to enable its ability to go through the firewall. Here we can already determine, we can set our printer to the default if that's where we're going to want to print as a default. I'm going to choose not to do that. And I'm going to change the name of it here. I'm going to call it YCHS Media Center IR8585I, because that's the model number that it was. You can change this to anything that makes the most sense for you, how you can identify the printer. If you want to add more than one printer at a time, you can, but right now we're just going to add one. You can click this and you'll have to add information for each one individually. Finally, on this page, we need to set the port. The port is going to be a standard TCP IP port. Click Next. And the address was from that spreadsheet. It's 10.13.112.8. Show you where that is. It's right here under column H. It will automatically pull these other pieces of information, that it has a staple finisher, that it's able to do department ID and secure print and authentication, but it doesn't have a paper deck unit or a trimmer or a booklet trimmer or anything like that. Click Next. It'll detect the port. This may take a few moments. And then click Finish, and it'll return to the wizard, the setup wizard. Then click Next, and then Start. It'll start installing the software. Had you not been a local administrator, here is where it would fail and kick you out of the program. Meanwhile, I'll just wait for this to finish registering the printer with the control panel, the devices and drivers, or devices and printers part of the control panel. I don't want to restart my computer right now, but if I did, it would make sure to take effect once it did restart. I'm going to instead exit the install program, and now I'm going to go to the control panel. You can just start typing control panel in the search engine area down at the bottom. Devices and printers. Here's the most recent one that we added. If you wanted to check the properties, you can right click and then change the printer properties. You can rename it. You could print a test page. I don't recommend changing the sharings because that's handled by our print servers. Change where it is located on the network. I don't recommend doing that either because they're established statically. But these are the kinds of things you could change. And that's really all there is to adding a printer.